What's up, you guys? Welcome to our channel. If you are new here, thanks for clicking in. My name is Alexis. This video is going to be somewhat of a story time, and it does end with a happy ending. As you guys can tell by the title, my cat had been missing for basically an entire month, and we ended up getting her back and bringing her back home. I do want to talk about that whole story and that whole situation, but before I even get into that, I think it's also important that I talk a little bit about the moral of the story, so to speak. Although this video specifically relates to that whole situation with my cat, I think that the message really can be applied a little more generally. Just because things aren't looking so great for you right now doesn't mean that things won't get better. Things might not always be easy all of the time. Unexpected obstacles can certainly pop up just because that's life and that's how things work out sometimes. But that doesn't mean that we should just give up. When it comes to my cat, like I said, she basically had been missing for an entire month. Towards the end of that whole ordeal, I pretty much was starting to lose hope. I was skeptical to believe that she would ever come back home, and I was starting to accept the fact that she was gone. And then we ended up getting her back. So whether this has to do with a lost pet of yours, don't lose hope. Whether it has to do with a goal that you're trying to achieve and you're having a hard time, don't lose hope. Keep pushing, keep trying, keep doing what you need to do in order to see those results. And 9 times out of 10, things will work out in our favor. Of course, there are some things that are out of our control. There are some things that maybe won't go according to plan, and we have to be okay with that. But at the same time, we have to not lose hope and we have to not lose faith, and sometimes just ask for a little bit of luck. So let's get into the story. I have the kind of cat that can't be chased, and I feel like a lot of pet owners and a lot of cat owners can probably relate to this. Cats in general will come back when they're ready. If you chase them, they tend to go even further away. So I was finding that I was chasing her. She was just going further and further out the more I chased her. And the way that she got out actually was because I had opened up the patio door, the sliding door, and she just bolted and she escaped. And like I said, I tried going after her, but the more I pursued her, the further out she ran. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, the more I chase her, the further she's gonna go, and the more likely it is that she's gonna become lost. This is not the first time that she's escaped. This is not the first time that she's been outside. She has always came back within an hour or so. Let me just give her her little space, her little freedom. She can explore, and when she's ready, she'll come back home. When cats don't come back, it's usually because something is wrong. Either they've been hurt, someone took them, they got lost. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things that could happen to an animal when it's outside. And I think the worst part of this whole situation was not knowing what happened to her. I was just getting a lot of anxiety. She was basically gone for an entire month. Looked for her, we circled the entire complex, we scattered treats and her cat food outside, we put the litter box outside, went out looking for her early in the morning and late at night, and we just didn't have any luck. So eventually what I ended up doing was just posting flyers, and I actually posted them around my complex as well as around the complexes across the street and around us. And within that week, someone actually called me and told me, hey, I was on Facebook and I was on the animal control page and I saw that they posted up a cat that looked a lot like yours. This cat apparently had been spotted in a complex not far from ours. That would be my first piece of advice. I would absolutely 100% encourage you to make a flyer and post flyers everywhere as soon as possible. The sooner you take action, the more likely it is that you'll be able to find your pet. The longer you wait, the more time has passed for X, Y, or Z to have happened to your animal. She said, hey, you should really go onto Animal Control's Facebook. This cat had been spotted at a complex not far from us, and the photo of the cat on their Facebook page matches the photo of the cat that I saw on your flyer. So boom, that was our first lead. So we called Animal Control, and Animal Control basically told us that the cat had not been caught. The photo that they had on their page, on their Facebook page, was taken by a resident at that complex who had been feeding our cat. Animal Control said that they would get in contact with the resident, that they would give the resident our phone number. If she decided that she wanted to call us, she could. However, they were not going to release her information to us. which would make sense. And they were going to instruct this person to try to catch the cat if she saw the cat again. So we waited that day for the person to contact us. They didn't. We waited another day, maybe to hear back from the person or from animal control, but again, we didn't hear from anyone. The third day, we called animal control and we said, look, we just spoke with you guys. We're looking for maybe an update. Has this person seen our cat again? And basically animal control told us, look, since the last time we spoke with you, this woman has not seen your cat. I'm like, okay, great. So again, we're just continuing to post flyers. We're searching for her at all different times of the day and all kinds of different locations. Now, not only are we searching for her at our complex, but we're also looking for her at this complex where she was seen. We just weren't having any luck. Eventually, animal control called us back. This was maybe a week after this whole ordeal was going on here. And they said to us that they had been working for a while with an older couple in the area. They would work together with animal control to get these animals fixed, spayed, and then they would release them back outside. And all the while, they basically just do their best to feed and take care of stray animals. This couple basically called animal control and let them know that there was a new cat that they had been feeding, a cat that they hadn't seen before. They described the cat to animal control, and the cat sounded a lot like our cat, according to the description that they gave animal control. So animal control called us and said, hey, this couple has been feeding a cat that they hadn't fed before. It's a small female. It sounds like it could be your cat. I'm gonna give you their contact information so that you can get in touch with them, and hopefully it is your cat and hopefully you can bring her back home. Long story short, these people ended up contacting us. They said, hey, your cat is here. We just finished feeding it. She came inside, come and get her. So we went to their apartment complex and walked inside, right? And I mean, we're total strangers. So the fact that they even went out of their way, I mean, number one, it takes a certain kind of person to just take money out of your own pocket and use it to feed stray animals. But then on top of that, they're literally harboring or keeping our cat in their house until we were able to get to them to pick her up. We're total strangers and we didn't even know for sure that it was our cat because we hadn't seen her. We were just going based off of the description and the area. They were close by, and so it was likely that it was our cat, but we weren't even 100% sure that it was her. And the fact that these people were willing to go through those lengths just because it's possible that the cat could have been ours, I think was incredible. And I am incredibly grateful that these people were able and willing to do that, and that there still are good people in the world who would do something like that, who just feed strays and who work with animal control and who really just want to do whatever they can. This was totally not their responsibility, not their problem at all, but they involved themselves with animal control in the hopes that they were able to find the owner of this pet. And in the end, when we went there to see whether or not it was her, it was. And that day we got our cat back home. Of course, we were incredibly grateful. We thanked them. We gave them a reward. So basically the moral of the story is this. The tips of advice that I would give you if you're missing your pet. Number one is post flyers. You won't be able to get any help if people don't know to help you. You have to post a picture of your cat. You have to give your phone number. You have to give a description, and you have to print out and post as many as you can as soon as possible. The longer you wait, the more time has passed, and the more likely it is then that something has happened to your cat. X, Y, or Z, you name it. Second thing that I would do is make sure that you can offer a reward if possible. Typically, if it's a genuine person and if it's a good person, they don't need an incentive, but sometimes an incentive can kind of encourage a person to look a little harder or maybe be more willing to try to capture the cat if they see it, as opposed to just sending a text message or calling you and saying, hey, I spotted your cat. Well, that can be helpful. It also maybe isn't super helpful if you end up getting there too late or the cat runs off because it's scared. If you incentivize a person maybe to try to catch it, then that's going to be a lot more helpful to you. And if the person doesn't end up catching it, they don't end up catching it. But at least you can offer that reward and maybe just kind of put it out there and see whether or not it brings you any luck. You know, it doesn't hurt. If you have it, it doesn't hurt, and it doesn't have to be much. Third thing that I would do is really try to just keep your litter outside, or anything that belongs to the animal. If it's a dog, then a toy, just something that has the cat's scent on it or the pet's scent on it. That way it can kind of be attracted back home. That wasn't very helpful in our case, but that doesn't mean that it can't be helpful in your case. Go outside at all different hours of the day and all different hours of the night. Typically, a lost animal is going to hide during the day and maybe come out at night. when they feel a little more safe or a little more comfortable because they have the shield of the night. So if you are going to look for a pet, of course look all hours of the day whenever you can, but especially if it's nighttime or the break of dawn, maybe when things are a little more quiet, you'll be more likely to hear them meow, and they might be a little more willing to come out if they are in hiding someplace near and can hear you. Also go online, take advantage of social media. If it weren't for Facebook, if it weren't for us seeing this post from our local animal control, then we wouldn't have been able to put the pieces together and eventually locate our pet. So whether that means posting your pet online and also working directly with your local animal control or animal shelter, I think that can be incredibly helpful. And again, had we not done that, we probably wouldn't have gotten our pet back. And last thing that I want to say here, and it doesn't relate specifically to a missing pet, but just generally, right? Don't give up hope. Whether it's a goal that you're trying to achieve, whether it's a pet that you're trying to find, whether it's a problem that you're trying to solve. Things probably are not going to happen overnight. Things are probably not going to unfold overnight. You might find yourself maybe losing some hope. Don't. Keep at it. Make the phone calls that you need to make the efforts that you need to make, and keep doing what you have to do in order to see that goal fulfilled, right? It may or may not work out, but at least you know that you tried, that you put in your effort, and that you did what you could to get the results that you're looking for. Making your problem clear, making your problem known, trying to pull other people in, because it certainly can be helpful, and not giving up hope if things don't seem to work out right away. In my case, like you guys know, my cat was gone for a month. That's a really long time for a pet to be missing, and I had already started to accept the fact that maybe she wouldn't come back. And just as I was starting to lose hope, we ended up getting her back home. So don't give up, really just keep at it, whatever it is that you're doing. If it's a pet that you're missing, don't give up. Keep going out there every single night, every single morning, posting those flyers and doing what you have to do to bring your pet back home or to reach that goal that you're trying to achieve. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so that you can be notified next time I post. All right, guys, thank you so much. Stay safe.